Now, would I take that grace for granted and say, oh, because I have that grace, I have the energy, and I want to have 1001 children or something?
I was actually going to ask that. That did any of this influence the number of children that
Oh,
you have?
oh. Even at uh, very recently, I think it was not early last year. There, my mom was like, should we try one more? I said,
Yeah.
so it's like the adage in Yoruba that says that don't forget they got where they continue.
How old is your
So
last son?
it's 7 now.
Wow, you really come a long way.
It's 7 now.
So you just decided that let's just stick with these two,
Yeah,
right?
but we're good. We're good. Except God, like I said, my life is hinged around God. It's
Mhm.
dependent. And when He says it is time, He provides the energy for it.
Okay, Mama. So let's talk about you. You actually said some things in passing, and I just want you to like put some maybe elaborate more on it. You mentioned that you resigned your job.
Yeah.
How long was that for? Was it that you said, okay, the first 4 years of raising these children, I just want to like devote time, or maybe the first 5 years, or maybe the first 3 years, and after that I'm going to. How did you? What was the what's the word now?
Okay.
Was there like a structure, like this period of time, and then this time you are up and running again?
Okay. So before, by the time I was getting married, I said uh, that I want I and my husband to be fully involved in our children's lives, at least for the formative years. And in my own definition, 0 to 10 years, 0 to 10. So their first step, I'm there. Their first everything, we are there. If he's not available, I need to be available. If I'm not available, he has to be available. One of the parents has to be actively present, sufficiently present enough for the child. For every milestone, have to be there. You understand? I will take them to school, we bring them back home. Take them to school. We don't leave that to whether driver or house help to do that. We do that. Yeah. So we we committed to that. And that's to an extent rested solely on my shoulders. But in recent times, yes, because my husband is now also an entrepreneur. So to an extent, his time is also flexible. Now he does take them in the morning and I pick them in the afternoon. So that is our model right now. So, and it's still that is still ingrained in my mind that the first 10 years of your life, we die here, we're together. So, but did I not do anything? I did plenty things. I did plenty things to make money. But whatever I'm doing is revolved around my children.
Hmm.
Spend time for the children.
Things that you can
So
control.
exactly. If you want me to come and do any job for you, I will tell you ahead of time. Now, was there a time that we're so financially held up that I had to go back to 9 to 5? At some point, I had to do that. Oh, those were like the worst years. 3 years of I'll get once I'm leaving. I used to leave my home 5 a.m. I'll cry. I'll be driving. I'll be crying. I'll get to work. I'll do my work. I can't close at 5 because I'm one of the management staff. I will get home at about 10. They will want to stay awake to listen to me, to see their mom. But at times I will see them falling asleep on the sofa. At, at
I
times I'll
believe
get
at
milk.
that point you had to get help, right? Because
Yes, I
leaving
had
the
to.
house around. Wow.
Yes, I had to get house help to be with them. But it's not the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
from school, this is sneezing, he's doing this, he's doing that. See, if you can cope as a mother, that they will call you, assignment is not done, this and that and that and that. God bless you. But me, this it breaks something in me that is like, oh, you're looking for money, and your kids are suffering.
Long
Because
views.
the mentality I have is that I may be their mother, but I'm a custodian and I'm going to give account of these lives. So, or I put myself in those children's shoes. I have a need and there's nobody to attend to me. How would I feel? So I was like that. And they were still quite small. My second son then was, I think, about a year plus.
Wow.
You understand? So I had to borrow myself brain. And I said, if God will not provide, so be it.
Mm.
But that's this, I will sacrifice these children. No. If I had parents or parents in-laws who could stand in for me, why not? You understand? Why I didn't have that. There's so much my husband can do, sincerely, as a man, even when he had proper models. At time when the baby is crying, what does he want to do? You understand?
Very true.
So it's not because they are wicked, it's not because, but they really don't know. They really don't know. So, and I won't castigate because I would not want anybody to castigate or be bitter or something that I'm ignorant about.
Mm.
So I had to borrow myself brain because of God. And like I said, God that sees your heart, sees your intention, is a rewarder. Is a rewarder. So right now, I do my own thing. I run a startup. I've done school runs this morning. I've dropped them off this morning because my husband was in a meeting. Whatever I'm doing by 2 o'clock, I've gone to pick them. And then when they're back home, I continue. When it's time for homework, so we plan our time. We sit down and we do our homework. We do our devotion. We still study Bible together. So, and then by 8 p.m., we have to go to bed. I'll be in your room. You want lullaby? I'll be lullaby for you, but you have to sleep. So that is my life right now.
So between that 3 years that you had to get back to work because obviously the money needs to money, and now that you had to decide that, oh, they decided that, oh, I have to actually give my all to these children. They need me at this time. How was the feeling during that period and now? Can you compare it?
Even that period, it became so bad that I became sick.
Hmm.
So I started nursing migraine.
Wow.
It affected me badly. Uh, I was doing very well at work. I have work energy. So, but I went to depression because the core. So, for example, if I become too busy that I don't have time for my family, you will see that I may be successful outside, but I'm dying. You understand? So, and like I said, I'm not legislating this. This is me. This is me
Mm-hmm.
where I'm wired. You understand? So, especially if I get a report from school, they're supposed to have done this, you didn't do it. Hey, and it's now becoming like a pattern. Now, do we have some mothers who have the luxury of staying at home and not doing the right things? A lot of them. So if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're listening to this, you need to know why you are home and
Mm-hmm.
achieve that purpose. It's not a time to be watching Netflix round the clock. It's not a time to be surfing internet round the clock. It's not a time to be doing I'm being people's business. Motherhood is a full-time job. So as parents, as a mother, we need to get our priorities right. You are home. What are you teaching your children? What is their routine like? Now that you have time to be with them at home, how are you handling it? Are they better off? If you're not there, will anything go wrong? Will they miss your presence? Are you teaching them values? Are you making your time with them worth the while? Or you're also just making time to go back and start making and start working?
Mm.
So priorities though.
Actually, at this point, I would like you to speak on, there are people who, um, they are neck deep into career that even though the home front seems to be suffering, they are so deep that they can't come out. Even though they are suffering from depression, the thought of, oh, maybe their children are not doing well in school, but the fact that they are already neck deep, maybe they're already like maybe board of director or something that more like you are now approaching the peak, and it's not the best time to say you want to back out because all you've been building can just, what would be your advice to somebody in that position?
I would say that build a support system. If you have parents who are still strong and agile, bring them in. Bring them in. You see some families where it may be the husband's mom or your mom are perpetually living in your house. There's a reason for that. You understand? So if you have a parent who's still very strong, I can stand in for you. Excellent. Now, I'm not saying that you should turn the woman into your nanny or house help, but you need an adult in your home that has your back, that is rock solid behind you. Now, apart from that, you need all that money that you're making should be able to afford domestic helps, not even one. Because like I said, you're not turning your mother or your mother-in-law into your nanny or into your house help. So, for example, at that age, she's also maybe nursing, he or she's also nursing be an ailment or something. There needs to be a nurse or it's a support system that your mother or your mother-in-law should not miss any medical appointments so that she can be rock solid enough to take care.
Long enough.
So,
Mm,
like I said, minimum of like two domestic staff. Maybe one person cooking, another person cleaning, running errands. That one comes with a lot of risk, but like I said, life is a work of faith.
mm,
Then a driver. Some of these things they have their consequences, but you need to choose weigh these things. Our choices have consequences. If you decide to stay
mm,
at home and work and take care of your children, you will not have money, you'll be broke. But at least your children will you have time for your children, you'll be seeing them like this, you're raising your children. But if you
mm,
decide to go out and work because it's a mission for you, even beyond the money,
mm,
but the money needs to be able to meet some needs. You understand? To be able to meet some needs. But if you don't have any support system, mm-mm, mm-mm. But if you have parents who are still strong and can be there for, we have some parents now that they're also Lagos,
yes,
also
so they are
career
also
people.
sitting down.
The max they can stay with you is 1 week or 3 days.
Very true.
Or they will say, bring the children to my house, let them come and stay. They them say they are not even in the house.
Hmm.
So no. But if you must build that career headlong, you need that support. You need the village to help you raise the family. You need a whole village.
Hmm.
And you win some, you lose some.
Hmm.
In life, it's not everything we win. You
Hmm.
understand? You know the battles that you want to choose,
Hmm.
and then you choose it right.
Hmm.
So, but
So,
that's support.
so to wrap up this particular question, I would like to ask you, between the time that you were working and before you choose to resign because of the kids, what was that one thing you find challenging the most, that keeps like giving you maybe sleepless nights, that you were like, okay, at this point I'm done, and then now that you are with your kids and you have all the time with them, what is that thing that you find joyful the most?
So in the mornings, we do our personal Bible study at quiet time. I do it with them. I'm part of the teaching. So there's a difference between telling and showing, teaching. So that is a feeling for me. I will teach you how to do this. I will teach you how to do that. Or we are going to school. I want to hear your conversations, how you talk. When you have learned a new slang, I want to hear it firsthand. When you, for example, when I'm picking them from school, I'm like, okay, let's just say about today in school. I want to hear all the gist. I want to hear everything. So, and then when they come back from school, they have issues with this subject, with that subject. If I can't handle it, some of the subjects these days, you can't do them. I'll know how to call the teacher. He doesn't understand this one. Oh. He doesn't understand that one. Oh. So, and then maybe they went to play and they fell or something, but just actively involved. What are they watching? And
Mm.
well, I used to watch Coco Melon. I will sing all the Coco Melon song. We'll be watching together. So all of those things. When I'm at work and I remember, I'm like, what are they learning? I'm not there. Or you now get back home, they have slept. You didn't hear what happened that day, or you're waiting for the weekend. And my job back then, I'm even travel for like
Wow.
3 weeks. I'm not home.
Wow.
So if I not get back, would they remember what happened 3 weeks ago? So, and like I said, that is me. Oh, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that is my life. That's my life. When I'm not there enough, is the way it affects my health.
Mm. Wow.
And what drives me is this. You know, when the Bible says that having done all things, then stand.
Mhm.
You know that if you have not done your best, if everybody's lying that oh you have tried, you yourself, you cannot lie to yourself.
No.
So
Good.
you can't lie to
Mm.
yourself. You
Actually,
know,
no.
you not try, you not try. Everybody can say, oh, no, you were
You did your
this.
best.
Like, you can't lie to yourself. You can't. You can't. You can't. You know. And that's the
Ah.
conversation that a lot of parents ahead of us usually they may not be able to tell you where they failed.
Mm.
They may not be able to tell you um, their shortcomings, their inadequacies. We only say the good path. Like I'm telling you, at some point, because of money, I went back to it. And right, you know the economy. Even right now, the economy is biting. If say you want to stay at home, see, yes, a husband may be able to provide at least the basic things. If you want to buy your ne- necessary things, necessities, do you want to
Mhm.
go for XYZ? Or your parents, oh, you want to meet a need in your family. It's not everything I don't know the kind of relationship you have with your husband, do you? That thing, you want to also have what they call your money. You
Very
know, that's
true.
that's in my generation.
Actually.
So those at some point, those were the things that I had to forego. I suffer those things. Like at time you want to buy bra, you're calculating. You
And it's
understand?
actually not because your husband cannot give you, but it's because the sole responsibility of the house is actually yours. So by the time you remove all those money, before you think of this other one, the table is already.
You understand? So
Well, so was this one of the things that actually now led you into the entrepreneurial life?
like I've been issue, I have plenty energy. You understand? If I could hustle while I was in school, you can't catch me not doing something.
Mm.
You understand? So you can't catch me not doing something, not being purposeful. So I'm like that. And I'm also passionate about young people.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm.
Passionate about young people that people we just need to also need to get it right. Somebody also needs that encouragement. Somebody needs that push. Somebody needs to tell somebody that you may be going through challenges, but you can do it. Just a little more push,
Mm.
just a little more perseverance. So, and that's what also informs what I'm currently doing. So, I can't be caught of.
And sincerely, I must say that you're actually doing a very, very awesome work at LNSC. Like when I see the things that you post and everything, I'm like, wow, you're actually like you are the goal.
God help us.
The way you actually, give courage to do all these things. And I think this is just to even say that for women that would say, "Oh, if I leave my job, what am I going to be doing? This and that." And it's just to say that there would always be something that can occupy your time during that period. It could be okay, maybe the first 6 years, you just want to give it all the attention, and then, so that period, God will definitely bring something. And even the word of God says that anything your hand finds doing, so it's a proof that even if it doesn't look like maybe the biggest of things, no matter what it is, God is going to put his blessing on that
Yeah,
thing. And the reason why you are doing it in a couple of years now, you'll be amazed at the results that those sacrifices are going to be bringing. So I think it makes it all worth it at the end
yeah.
of the day. I just want us to talk a little about self-care as moms, because I think this is also one of the aspects that we pay little attention to. Normally you're all about the children. Before you even think of buying bra for yourself, the children already has all their outfits sorted and all of that. I just want, how do you make time for yourself, for self-care in the middle of all of these mommy duties?
Oh, it is very important to care for yourself. So, like I told you, what I've identified that stresses me out. And once I'm stressed, I start having unexplainable headaches. You see, at some point, I got to a point where I had to do brain scan.
Mm.
It was also so bad that it affected my skin. I did biopsy. They even made me do HIV test to know whether I'm okay. And all the results kept coming as negative. That was fine. So it now made me sit back to think about the things that stresses my stressors. And I just see that it revolves around my family.
Mm.
Again, this is me. Oh, this is me the way I am. And like I said at the beginning, some of these things I tie it around God's neck on the altar. You understand? So I'm like, okay. So for example, if I think God will nudge me, teach your children about this topic. And I'm still permutating, I'm still thinking, and should I not? I now see my child do something that if I
That
had
could
thought,
have been averted.
you understand? Hey, the way I will feel, this is me, oh, like I said. Maybe I'm just extra, maybe. And apart from all of that, I pray a lot. I try to pray a lot about my fears, my inadequacies. I just like God, if you cannot help me, then I'm finished. I'm just done. You understand? So, and then I also have the conversation with my husband. It may look like he's not listening when I'm talking about, or to like you're just so extra job, but he has heard and he's thinking about it too. And the day you just do something, I'll be like, oh, so you heard me. You understand? So it's like that. So it's important. So a lot of times now, even my husband will say, oh, yeah, go and sleep. I'll be like, I've
Mm.
not come to Lagos to sleep. Oh. He'll be like, go. At times,
Mm.
even church programs that we have to wake up early, like we do some 5 a.m. prayers, 6 a.m. prayers. At times, when he sees that I'm not waking up, he won't bother to wake me up. Sleep. It's be like sleep. And thankfully, I have a domestic help right now that's been with me for about 4 years. Quite,
Wow.
I go just help me with this one. I go just compensated me with this one. She's also been very strong for me. So, and then in recent times, so when I'm traveling, I'm doing solo travel with my husband and co. I've also found somebody in church, a youth, a Gen Z, fantastic with children. I'm like, don't worry, you're doing a internship with these children. Very fantastic. I can travel and then she's there. Like God, I beg. Maybe this is just a period to say I have you in mind. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then I try to sleep. If once I have a headache is coming, I just sleep. I just sleep. Then when I wake up, maybe one thing I do very well is I listen to songs, especially hymns. I love hymns. Hymns, they say the expressions of my heart. Even when I
Mm.
don't have words, they make me pray. So yes, I pray, I will listen to hymns, I take care of myself, I try, then regularly go for checkups.
Mm.
Go for checkups, especially once you're above 30. Check. I also watch what I eat, avoid carbohydrates as much as possible, portion control, observe portion control. The our staple food in Nigeria is carbohydrates, which largely is sugar. So
Mm.
I make conscious effort to do right, to do the right things, to eat right,
Mm.
to intermittent fasting, drink a lot of water, befriend lemon, eat a lot of veggies. Like I say, eat the rainbow, eat different colors of vegetables and fruits. Research these things. You don't have to be a nutritionist to know there are lots of information out there. Things. Let your food be your medicine.
Mm.
So yeah, and also talk to your doctor or supplements that will work for you. That will boost your immune system, your reproductive health, your health, everything. The like for example, when I go shopping, you see me reading ingredients, and the ones that looks like English, I'll type it on Google. I'll start searching. Once you feel like there are side effects and that you just see me drop it. Like I don't have to be. I'm not exotic. So even my cooking wares at home, I look for the ones I know the ones that are toxic, I know the ones that are healthy. I try to choose healthy ones. See clay pots, they're very healthy. If you can go to Shaki and buy clay pots, they're one of the healthiest pots available. Or all those are corny pots to cook. So we don't have to always be tush. Some of the tushness is costing us our health.
Mm.
So just try and as much as possible, if you can, be basic. Life is simple actually. Life is very simple. You understand? So I yes, my health of my husband, my children, also very paramount. Yeah. So I try to see how can we balance our diets. What kind of nutrients do we need per day? One egg per day, one apple per day. I have a son who doesn't like eggs. I think he doesn't tolerate eggs.
Mm.
So I look for alternatives. You understand? So all of that, we need to keep ourselves, watch out for ourselves. Then if what makes you happy, what gives you adrenaline is to spend money to shop, look for something else. At times we like to buy, makes us happy, keeps us happy. You understand? You want to own 1,000 dresses, look for something else. Because adrenaline will bring you sorrow.
Debit alert.
To bring you sorrow. So look for something else. So basically, watch out for yourself, laugh, hang out with friends, good friends. I don't have plenty friends. My circle is very small. So, and I'm also quite introverted. If you leave me in my house, I can be in my house, leave food there, let there be internet, books. I can be there, I will not go out for 1 month and I'm not bored. So I can be by myself, me, myself, and I, and I'm fine. Live with my family and we're good.
Okay, so Mama, actually, I needed to point that out because I know that for mothers, most of the time, we pay attention to everybody and maybe less attention to ourselves. And I love the fact that you mentioned checkups, you mentioned, the series of things that can actually help mothers to also pay attention to their own self, to their own health, which is also very important because a healthy mother is a healthy family in the way.
Also, if you become sick, you can't do so much for your family.
Very
And if you,
true.
they said the vow you exchange is the death do us part.
Mhm. Mm.
So
A word is enough for the wise.
that's my case.
Okay, so Mama, before we round off, I want us to touch on this a little bit. And it's actually about the relationship with your husband. I just wanted to speak on how you still ensure that the fire is still, aflame because I see the way Pastor Wale posts you a lot, the way you travel different countries here and there, and I'm like, hey God, when? Like, how do you still ensure that okay, the fire is still burning, the love is still there, even with the loads of responsibilities that comes with having kids? I know some. I filmed the video recently because somebody asked me that, oh, since the baby came into picture, the wife have been having little or no time for him, and everything has just been about the baby. And then now looking at you, even your last born is over 7 years, and how have you been able to like pull all of those strings to still ensure that the love between yourself and your husband is still there. You still make out time to go on trips and dinner date and so many things that we see.
Okay, my husband likes to do those things.
Oh wow.
He does for me a lot. It's more, I'll say it's more romantic than me.
Oh.
Than he is more deliberate about those things more than me, more than I am. So
Mm,
it makes it so you can leave me. I'm very into the family. I'm working around the clock, but he deliberately makes sure that he steals me out
mm,
of all of that. And also because I'm introverted, I don't my circle is very I don't have plenty friends. So it will intentionally pull me out of it. I say, okay. At times, like there was a time we went on a trip and it was like, it's not going to subscribe to internet. I said, I will be able to talk to my children. Ah, if they want to call me, they cannot call me. No, 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 that this one was like, no, I just want you to rest. I just want you to think of something else. I said, and he knows that I will fall sick.
wow.
Even if I'm not able to speak to them, they should be able to speak to me if whenever they want. He had to buy the internet too, because I will not go for the next one. So I think that's the balance he also brings to the table.
Mm,
He makes sure that we have our getaways. It doesn't have to be travel abroad. At times, even
mm,
within Lagos. There was a time that I went to Abeokuta there. You understand? It can be there are a lot of things to do within Lagos, within your environment. Just look around. But we need that time to get away. We talk a lot. We do business together too. There's nothing I'm doing that he's not aware of. There's nothing he's doing that he doesn't tell me. So if the house become noisy for us, we mean when I mean noisy is a lot of things slapping us, then we do a getaway. to reduce so that we can
Mm.
hear one another. You understand? So, but he does he does that a lot for us. So, and then when he complains about something, the first time I heard it, and I'm doing something about it. So I don't take his needs for granted. I'm very family oriented. When he's upset about something, I don't joke with it. I don't take it for granted. At times, it can be overwhelming. Maybe when I have a lot to do, and it's same, and the way it's also wired, it's very also very reflective. The things that he likes today, tomorrow he may not like it too, and then it's changing. When I'm settling into okay, I think he likes this. Let me settle into it. By next week, it has changed.
Mm.
So, like when I started the health, eating healthy food in journey, he didn't like it at all. Now, he also said to me, I mean, I've moved on. So, but he makes sure that okay, that the temperature in our home is warm. He
Mm.
makes sure that our relationship is on point. He listens to me and I listen to him too. So when we have a friction, we quarrel, it also affects us. You also say that it's not productive at work. I'm also not productive. It affects us. So we ensure that everything works together. So, like I said at the beginning, for me, my family marriage is a ministry for me. And I also realize that it's for him too. You understand? It's not if you don't do this, I'm out. Mm-mm. We die here. So that's our goal and
Mm.
it makes it happen. So yeah, that's it.
I actually I love the blend of the two because in some people's home it's the woman that is always about the planning for the vacation and all of that, and then having to see that okay, it's the other way around there. It actually makes it beautiful. I think that's just the beauty of life. The mix of both individuals just makes it awesome, and I actually love that about you too. And okay, just lastly, what advice will you give to? I also did mention the fact that you are also a pastor's wife.
Yeah, I wear plenty hats.
You wear plenty art, and you know the beautiful thing about it, you wear them so beautifully that a lot of people would not know that it is actually not as easy as it looks. Those pictures on Instagram, behind it is a lot of
Yes,
responsibilities that
a
needs
lot.
to be attended to, and I really thank God for that strength. So I just want to like give an advice. A question is coming to my mind. Did you know that he was going to go into ministry?
No,
And when it was time for the ministry, how did you? Hey, oh God, that question has been on my mind. I didn't even know why I'm asking at this point. I thought that was even going to be my first question because I saw something online recently. A lady like wrote something on Twitter, something about I fell in love with a tech bro. And 2 weeks later, he's saying that he has God is calling him. You better remove the battery on that phone. So like the thing just okay now looking at you, this is a tech, a solid tech man, and now
solid
being
though,
called
very
into
solid.
ministry. How was it for you, and how did you like now coming from just being a church member, maybe like a very committed worker, to now being the pastor's wife alongside other responsibilities that you have? How was that season for you? How did you transit?
Okay, so if till now, I don't see myself as a pastor's wife.
Mm,
So, and he himself does not see himself as a pastor. So all of that is just a nomenclature. The
mm,
only thing we see is that it's an assignment and we are doing the assignment.
mm,
That's all. You understand? And thankfully, the denomination we belong to is not necessarily our personal church. We don't have a calling to start a church. At least my one doesn't have a calling to start a church. So I'm not first lady. So it's just like in Jeremiah, it says, when he calls me, I will answer. So
mm,
we've had different callings. we know that our life is about Jesus. Our
Mm,
life is about kingdom. Our life, everything we do is for the kingdom. We are sold out to the kingdom. So when there's a task and there's somebody that needs to fulfill that task, it's a privilege that we are available.
mm,
So the way we see it is today, this is the assignment, and we do it. Tomorrow, another assignment may come.
mm,
Lord, we are available. So that's how we see it. So when how do you wear the heart as a part is a lot of work, oh, but I just see it as I'm busy for the master. Forget
mm,
all the nomenclatures. Because what would I be doing? Partying or just
mm,
chilling out. And it also gives me a thing of pride that my children are growing up to see that their
mm,
parents are actively involved with the Lord.
mm,
So we don't see it as a title, we see it as a work to be done.
mm.
So it's only when you say, pastor's like, oh, okay, there's a task to be done, and then you have been called to it. Okay,
Mm,
the Lord gives the grace for the journey.
mm, mm.
We don't know
Have
what
you ever
God
at some
will come tomorrow. So
but have you ever at some point felt like, okay, maybe you're going to marry a pastor, or maybe your husband was going to be a pastor?
the truth of the matter is that I knew I was going to be in ministry.
Mm,
So, but not necessarily that pastor's
that's
wife, even if we don't have time to go and do personal evangelism, we'll be sending messages. If we travel, we go with tracts. Once we're leaving that hotel room, we drop a tract. So it's not about I want to be a pastor. I knew that
mm,
our life is a ministry.
mm.
So
So this was not it didn't meet you unaware or anything. It's something that you've always wow. So, lastly, what advice would you give to women who are just, getting married and then coming into that motherhood and also handling career, different responsibilities here and there? What would be your word of advice to anyone in that category right now?
it's a lot of work, oh, let me tell you. A lot of you're not prepared. You're not prepared. Forget the books, the things I have read, what people have told you, what you have seen. You know, there's this I want to marry, I want to do this, I want to do that. Forget the hype. Oh. It's a lot of work.
Hmm.
You will lose your steez, as in
Your
there are
composure will disappear.
get it. So, but every step of the journey, let Jesus be at the center.
Mm,
Every step of the journey, let Jesus be at the center and do right by God. I was about to say the Lord that what He has pledged to do is to do right under God. At times, will He fail? Yes, it is part of the journey. You understand? But do right under God,
mm,
not by social media. At times, it will look like, don't you have sense? Don't you have common
mm,
sense? You understand? But do right by the Lord. Do your own part. Pray for your partner to be able to do their own part. But you, having done all things, then stand.
mm,
So
mm,
do right by the Lord. Masha Sheju, do right
mm,
by the Lord. Don't look at someone else's time. Don't look at someone else's home. Don't look at someone else's, like all those times when I was leaving my job. I had a friend that my husband bought her a brand new car. I was like,
wow.
Father, Lord. She was everywhere. She was working this when she dresses, her dressing was on point. And I will not blame her. She had mother-in-law. She has her own mother. They take turns. Anybody else. Don't look at other people. If you must, just learn the good part and leave the one that's not working for you. Your home is peculiar. Is peculiar to you. You're the
mm,
one that is it. You understand? You know your struggles. There will be struggles. Even the marriage that we call perfect, there will be struggles. But let Jesus be at the center of it. And let's be mission oriented.
mm,
Mission oriented. Have a purpose under God. Is very important. So
mm.
as singles, get your value system right.
Yeah.
Right, not flimsy things, tall, dark, and handsome, tech bro with money. It will shock you.
It's 1 million in his account. I mean,
Understand? It will shock you. You understand? Because whatever you think you have that attracted him to you, there are ladies out there who have times 10 of those qualities.
mm,
You understand? So then also be sufficient in your own skin.
mm,
At times you insecurities may come in here and there. When you love someone, you'll be jealous at some point. You'll
mm,
be insecure, but don't let it eat you up. Don't let it
mm,
overtake you.
mm,
You understand? Then don't be lazy.
mm,
Don't be lazy. Don't be diligent in everything you do. Be diligent in your work,
mm,
in corporate. Overdo, as in outdo yourself.
mm,
In parenting, outdo yourself. In resting, outdo, as in be diligent in all that your hand finds to do. Do it
mm,
well. You
mm,
understand? Having done all things, then stand. That's
mhm,
one of my
mm,
scriptures. Then stand. Having done all things,
mm,
then stand. I don't want to give you formula. That's this how say every day. Bible said that the path of the righteous is shining light. Shining,
yes,
and it makes his mercies new every morning.
mm,
If you formularize these things, it may not work. So, but if I may if I may advise, if you have support system, please use them. And also you need to have some level of trust for people too, until they prove you otherwise. So like your parents, your in-laws, at least the good ones, bring them around. You can't do it alone.
mm,
Like this, take a village to raise a child. So if you have that village, please use the village
mm,
so that we can have breathers. If they can go spend weekend in some places, let them go. So, but above all, if you are mission oriented, if you are family oriented, the two of you cannot be so actively involved in corporate and nobody is
mm,
actively involved in the life of your children.
mm, children. Mm,
So, for
mm,
every lady out there who will be watching this, if you're not yet married, marry right.
mm,
Have the correct value system. Let's just be at the center of it. Do your job well. Do your job well. We're even lucky that these days we have fully remote jobs
mhm,
and stay at home. When I was starting out, there was nothing
mm.
like that. There's nothing like that. But at least even some banks they are doing hybrid now.
Yeah.
So and the way the world is going, it may also get better. It may be fully remote for forever. So
Mm.
it's better. So, but
Yes, but
whatever you do, let Jesus be at the center. And if you must have children, let them be in the middle of the value system.
mm.
They shouldn't be the backbone. What?
Ah, this is a lot. It is actually a lot to take in, but I'm actually glad we could have this conversation. And there's actually a lot in it for even myself to learn. I started picking a number of things, even from the beginning where you started talking. And I know that it's going to be a blessing to lives as well. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being real. Thank you for being genuine. Thank you for being open. Like, a lot of it was perfect, it was rosy, it was this. But I love the fact that you went deep into the nitty gritty and showing us even where you would have done better. so that we can do better right now. So I must say thank you so much for doing this for us and for a number of people that are going to watch this episode. And I just want to say thank you. And it is my prayer that the Lord will continue to keep you, and everything you lay your hands upon will continue to flourish. Your home will
Amen.
continue to be an example. Your children would make you proud, and everything around you would continually shine brighter and brighter, just like the path of the
Amen.
just, in Jesus' name. Thank you
Amen.
so
Thank
much.
you.